Just tell us a little bit about your story, mate. Like a little bit about where you've come from and.
My background is I've been in construction all my life. About 10 years ago I had a bit of an industrial accident. I put a nail right through my eye. I couldn't drive a vehicle for at least 12 months, and so it limited my opportunities going back to building. I had some income protection which lasted for 2 years, and I was unfortunate to go into disability pension, which I wasn't too happy about. I thought, oh, there's got to be something better than this. So for a few years I wandered back and forth for different things. And I thought, oh, well, I've got to start doing things in a different way. I'm 58 years old, time is running out, and I thought, oh, if I don't come up with something different, nothing's going to change. So I borrowed some money and invested in some courses on investment. So I spent $5,000 on my first one, $4,000 on my second, and I was prepared to pay $30,000 linked with the second one, where I already put $3,000 down. I just happened to be at a seminar and I come across Sean's program. I was so impressed and thinking, well, hang on, I spent all this money and I haven't made 1 cent. Sean has definitely got a better system, so I joined his program. After being on his program for I think approximately 4 weeks, I went and done my first deal using his system. I was able to get a house for $350,000, where houses on the street were selling for $450,000. So I've instantly made $100,000 equity on my first deal within 1 hour of seeing the house and meeting the vendor. I thought, this is a bit of a turnaround for me. I wish I'd come across Sean many years ago and a lot less dollars spent. Needless to say, I'm very happy with his system, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more deals under his guidance. I found him very good. I actually rang him up about the question on this first deal, and he rang me back up at 10 o'clock that night, which I was quite surprised to get a return call. With my previous one I spent $1,000 for, they will not even, without going on their mentoring program for another $14,000, wouldn't even answer me one question. So Sean is such good value, and I'm sorry I wasted a lot of months studying wrong courses with no results. After 4 weeks with his course, I'm $100,000 ahead. So I don't think I'll ever have to see disability pensions again. Thank you, Sean.
Okay, thanks, mate. What's been the best thing about your journey into the mentoring program?
I was amazed at how simple the system is if you follow the formula for the system. Whereas I've seen other complicated systems and you just couldn't work it out for yourself, but the system is so simple. I know it's a cliche, it's too good to be true, but it's too good to be true turned out to be true. And I've got $100,000 in my bank to show it is true.
What do you see as the highlights of the actual mentoring program?
That you are genuine. Sean is definitely genuine. He delivers. Other programs haven't delivered. I've got access to Sean, but everything's so simple. I very rarely got to contact Sean about it, but if there is, he's either on the phone straight away or calls me back within most of the time minutes. And our get-togethers keep us all inspired and keep us motivated. If you're not motivated, you're not going to go ahead. And Sean makes sure we are motivated.
Okay, thank you. So you not only get together with me, but you also get together with the group. So what's the dynamic of the group like? You know,
very diversified and very good. We actually spur each other on. We not only where our successes are, but more importantly our failures. And where one of us fails, we share within the group. Well, they make sure that they don't go down that road, which is very beneficial. That saves us a lot of time, a lot of money.
How did you get the deal together from the information that I was able to share with you?
Well, the information you've given us gave us the expertise that where to source the properties from. Where I did end up doing that deal was a place I thought I couldn't do a deal because it's too new an area, it's too expensive, it's out of my range, so I looked everywhere else. And then just thought, oh, well, if that system can work in a cheaper area, why can't it work in a better area? So I tried that system and to my surprise it worked, and that's where my first deal come from.
Okay, thank you. So I suppose there's a lot of people out there who think that because the area might be too expensive and because it might not be accessible, or people have told them this can't be done, can it be done in Emanual? Can it be done in Emanual?
It can be done, but I used to believe it couldn't be done. until I've done your program, and now nothing's holding me back.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Let's walk through the first deal. So, like from the time that maybe you did your marketing programs through to the time you got the house, and then what you're going to do with this particular house from that stage on.
I had no money whatsoever, but Sean showed me how with his program. I used equity in my house. I used that for a deposit of 20%. I borrowed on its own merit for the balance of it, and then with Sean's system, I'm going to do a rent to own. Now I managed to build in a price. That's where the $100,000 come in, above what I paid for it, and with a 2-year option being rented out. Now I've not out of pocket for 1 cent, because the rent to own money that's coming in is covering my mortgage, so I'm not outlaying 1 cent out of my own pocket. So I can't get a better system than that.
So it's covering your mortgage, but also there's your outgoings as well. They're going to be covered, aren't they? Things
yeah, the outgoings are covered as well. Everything's covered.
Okay. So, but by doing the system, you've been able to lock in a guaranteed $100,000 profit.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So the most important. So one of the things that I got from you, Emanuel, is you're able to get the property at $100,000 below value, and really mark it up to what the property is worth, and that way the person getting the house itself is actually getting quite a good deal.
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, just with the people you're going to put into the house, I mean, what has been the response to the house you have, and has, just talk about some of the people you've been putting into the house, because it's my understanding that everyone who's looked at the house just wants to get into it.
Yeah, there's quite a few want to go in, and I actually had people ringing up, how do I get to the top of the queue? Because I realise it's such a good house, good condition. It's not even 4-year-old yet, and for a set price within 2 years, that gives them the opportunity to get into a house where normally the banks wouldn't look at them. So this is a win for them and a win for myself.
Okay, thank you. So the people you're looking at putting the property now, they've got a little bit of money to go towards the property, and they're like an A-grade client, because they're on quite good income, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, they're on a good income. So they've got no trouble making the payments. Well, you've got to qualify them before you put them into your house, but there's quite a few people in line to do the deal, because they've got no other option.
Okay, thank you. So one thing I want to touch on is my team. The thing is, part of joining my program was having access to my team. Has it been of benefit to have access to my team, whether it be Jeff or Andrew or just Diane or the people in my team? Like having the connections, has it made your life easier?
Oh, definitely. Without your team, the deal wouldn't have went ahead. It's simple as that.
Okay, thank you. And so how have you found, like, say, dealing with the team themselves? They've been professional and helpful?
Very professional, helpful. Nothing's a problem to them. Courteous. Couldn't ask for more or better.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, how have you found dealing with me, Emanuel?
Oh, no trouble. I say whenever I call you, if I can't get you straight away, you're back very quickly. No problem. Very easy to get along with. Nothing's a problem.
Good stuff. Okay, thank you. So what changes do you think have happened in your life since joining the mentoring program?
Well, it's given me hope. I didn't have hope before that, although I spent thousands and thousands of dollars, but hadn't actually achieved nothing because I didn't have the backing from those groups. Your program was a fraction of the price, and yet I got instant results because you're not too big an organisation, the others were, and they simply didn't care about you. You actually care, you're more one-on-one. That's why I joined your group, and I'm very satisfied and glad I did.
Okay, thank you. So have you had any other changes, like mindset-wise, or like you're saying you had a disability? I mean,
yeah, well, I had a totally different mindset before I'd done your program to what I've got today. I put up all my own barriers and justify why I didn't do things. And after doing your program, I've got a totally different mindset and think, well, hang on, not only I can do things, I've actually have done something. And that's only the first deal. And I'm looking forward to doing many more.
First deal in 4 weeks.
Yeah, so I can't complain about that result.
We had a meeting with Diane. Diane's a business coach, and she's also a internationally recognised business coach and life coach. So how was the meeting like as far as Diane goes, as part of the team? The first night you're able to go through some things there. And what was that meeting like with her?
Oh, very good. It's much better than I expected. She's very, very tuned into what's happening. She can totally change your direction where you think you've got your limitations, and she'll show you you've got no limitations, which impressed me greatly, and I'm looking forward to meeting with her again to further my benefits.
Okay. So she touched on like some different models, didn't she? Some stages models?
Yeah, she briefly touched on quite a few areas, and it's absolutely, until these things are mentioned to you, you don't realise where you're at or where you think you're at. But she can totally change your direction and your perception of things. And quite often your perception is totally different to what the reality is, and she'll show you the difference between perception and reality.
Okay, thank you. What got you interested in the whole concept of like coming to my course and then going that step further, you know?
Well, because I've been involved in construction all my life, my first thought was, well, I will get an old house that needs renovating, I'll do the renovation and move it on and hopefully make a profit there. But with that system, I had to sort of borrow all the money and all that tradies, all I can do basically work myself. Very involving, complex and time consuming. With this system, I can virtually do it on my own, I don't need anybody else. I can work the whole system, do my deals, make all the profits instead of sharing profits with other people, with others that are out there. I got control.
Okay. So with the house you bought, you said you thought you had to go into to renovate the property. With this house, did you have to do anything to the property when you bought it?
I had to change 2 light bulbs in the exhaust fan.
Okay.
Other than that, the house isn't even 4-year-old, it's still under 6-year structural warranty. Nothing to do. Didn't even have to mow the lawn once.
Okay. And you've got people lined up to basically try to purchase this house off?
I've had 10 to 12 people lined up to take over on those abilities, on those terms, and they're very happy they had the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. So if someone joins the mentoring program, do you think they can actually get out there and do this stuff?
Well, if I can do it, I can't see why they can't. I'm not very smart, as my son keeps telling me. So anybody can do it. If I can do it, if my background being on disability a few years ago to floundering around going nowhere, at my stage of life, I should be sitting back taking it easy, but the reality is I had to work harder and harder going nowhere. This system shows the possibilities, and I'm starting to achieve those.
Getting results fairly quickly too.
Very quickly. I didn't expect to get such quick results, so I'm more than happy. Just anybody who's interested in that, keep an open mind. Unfortunately, I've had a closed mind, and a lot of people do, and you get too many negative vibes from too many people. And in most cases, it's either your spouse, your sister, your brother, which is your biggest downfall. But you've got to start believing in yourself. Sean showed me to believe in myself. 3 or 4 months ago, I couldn't have done this, but he showed me the way to believe in myself, and it's paid off. I can't give a better recommendation than that.
You touched on the value of the group. And it is important to get together at those meetings, isn't it?
Oh, very important. Well, firstly, the most important one was our official meeting with Sean. But our second most important is the meeting within the group, because we share things, and if one's got a problem or whatever, then we can actually suggest to each other, this is what I've done in that case, whatever. Always got access to Sean, but if for some reason Sean might be tied up for the day and you need some instant results or an instant answer, we've got that network amongst us with Sean showing us how to do that.
Okay, thanks. Now I suppose, is there anything else you want to say? Or that probably wraps it up pretty.
Just looking forward to my next deal.
Okay.
And I thank Sean's the Property King for the program they've got. Anybody can do it. Don't hold yourself back. Only you are holding yourself back. Thank you.
Thanks, man.